Hello, friends. This is a lecture in the series of the e-lectures devised by the Commissionerate of College Education under the project of Gyandut 2.0. I am your friend Manju Sharma, Associate Professor in English, and today I am going to talk about the poem Tiger and the Deer, written by Shri Aurobindo Ghosh. Shri Aurobindo Ghosh is a writer from India, and the object that he wants to talk about, though seemingly appears to be very Indian, but is about a universal truth. हम अरविंदो घोष को एक साधु कवि के रूप में जानते हैं। यद्यपि उनका जीवन एक राजनीतिक क्षेत्र से शुरुआत हुई थी, तो आप देखेंगे कि उनकी इस कविता में कैसे राजनीति और साधुत्व का सम्मिश्रण है। द टाइगर एंड द डियर, to understand it better, I think it perfectly okay that you see the images first. And here we see the tiger. I hope you see him well. He is the monarch of the place he lives, but he is sitting in hiding. Look closely at how he sits. I am sure that you must have had a fair idea of what he is about to do. The majestic creature is in hiding, trying to keep himself actually hidden among the bushes and the leaves. And going closely to have a look at this tiger, you see his crouching position, his head nearly touching the earth, the front paws, front limbs stretched back as though to catapult him into action. आप देख रहे हैं, उसकी मुद्रा में एक तनाव है, वो तनाव जिससे उसके आगे के हाथ बिल्कुल पीछे सधे हुए हैं, बॉडी एक स्ट्रीम लाइन इफेक्ट में है और हमें लग रहा है कि अभी वो आक्रमण कर देगा। आक्रमण हुआ, and the deer is no more. The deer is directly into the clutches of the tiger and is now not existing anymore. With these visuals in the background, let us now try to read the poem Tiger and the Deer. I begin. Brilliant, crouching, slouching, what crept through the green heart of the forest? Gleaming eyes and mighty chest, and soft, soundless paws of grandeur and murder. So the poem begins with a question. The poet brings to us the question asking that who is he? And he gives the adjectives. He begins the poems with the defining words. वो उसकी पूरी परिभाषित कर रहे हैं इस टाइगर को, क्योंकि टाइटल में पहले टाइगर है और फिर डियर है, तो ये डिस्क्रिप्शन भी बिल्कुल वैसे ही चल रहा है. द टाइगर इज बीइंग डिस्क्राइब्ड एज फर्स्ट. ब्रिलियंट है वो. Crouching is the position in which he was sitting. His front legs drawn back, the body streamlined, slouching. Slouching is very close to the earth so that there is no motion of wind between his body and the earth. What crept through the green heart of the forest? The poet is asking, who is this creeping? See, look at the importance of the verbs. There is an adjective, and these verbs have been used as gerunds. Noun words, noun and verbs together. So, what crept through the green heart of the forest? Now, green heart of the forest symbolically speaks about the life giving heart of the forest. The forest has decided to give life to the tiger as much as to the other animals there. So, what crept through the green heart of the forest? Gleaming eyes and mighty chest. Eyes are shining. The tiger has shining eyes and a very powerful chest, and soft, soundless pause of grandeur and murder. The two things fused together. Grandeur, signifying the grand motion, the grand appearance of the tiger, but then he also uses the word murder. Tiger in a forest always spells murder. The wind slipped through the leaves as if afraid, lest its voice and the noise of its step perturb the pitiless splendor. Now, the forest which is green, the wind blowing in this forest is slipping. See the use, the beautiful use of the verbs. The wind slipped, it made no sound, noiselessly it went through the leaves, afraid lest otherwise its voice and the noise of its steps disturb the pitiless splendor. This is an expression used for the tiger. Pitiless splendor. पूर्ण रूप से हमको महसूस हो रहा है दो बातें कवि विरोधी बातें एक साथ दे रहे हैं. पहले उन्होंने फोर्थ लाइन के अंदर यूज किया ग्रैंडियर एंड मर्डर. भव्य है ये लेकिन हत्यारा. अब एथ लाइन में वही चीज रिपीट हो रही है. पिटीलेस है ये, हृदयहीन है, लेकिन मैजेस्टिक है, स्प्लेंडर है. हार्डली डेयरिंग टू ब्रीथ. The wind is not breathing, nor is the tiger breathing. So, in these lines, what is important is Aurobindo Ghosh's power to describe the majesty, the grandeur, and the murderous aspect of the tiger. He speaks explicitly enough that the wind is also without any noise. When the tiger comes, all other voices seem to silence, because now will come the voice of murder. But the great beast crouched and crept, and crept and crouched a last time. The beauty of the lines here is as though the poet is making a thorough observation of the tiger. He speaks about the motion. He crouched. Crouched is the motion in which he is just the motion, the position just before the attack is to be made. So he crouched and crept. Also see the beautiful use of alliteration. The C sound repeated. Crouched and crept and crouched a last time. noiseless, fatal, till suddenly death leaped on the beautiful wild deer as it drank unsuspecting from the great pool in the forest's coolness and shadow. And it fell and torn, died, remembering its mate, left soul in the deep woodland. You must be wondering why I did not stop, why I did not make a pause. The poet has made no pause. He has made the line run through 4 lines, the fifth line, then again run through 3 lines together, and then comes a small pause. जब भी कवि किसी एक लाइन को, किसी एक स्टेटमेंट को बहुत सारी लाइंस में चलाते जाते हैं, ये एक फिगर ऑफ स्पीच होता है जिसको हम बोलते हैं रन ऑन एनयाममेंट. ये कब यूज होता है? जबकि हम किसी एक ऐसे पैशन की बात करते हैं जिसमें सांस नहीं आती, हम उत्तेजना से भरे हुए हैं. सो वेरी मच इन कीपिंग विद द एक्साइटमेंट that is caused in the action of the tiger, the poet has not given any caesura, has not given any pause in the lines. He says the tiger is noiseless, fatal. Fatal means spelling death. He is noiseless and fatal, and till suddenly death leaped. The poet has not used the word the tiger leaped. He says death leaped. In this moment, tiger is no longer the majestic creature of the forest. He is now death incarnate. Death leaped on the beautiful wild deer, and the deer was drinking unsuspecting from the great pool in the forest's coolness and shadow. The deer had no idea that he is being attacked by death. And in a single stroke, it fell and torn. So it fell down and it was completely torn. The teeth of and the claws of the tiger have not given him a chance to make any movement. It was drinking and there only it was torn, died. Now there is a kind of imagination. To make this tragedy more bitter, the poet says that the deer immediately died, maybe remembering its mate left soul in the deep woodland. And we see that the poet has become sympathetic towards the mate, the female companion, the doe, that must have been now separated from its male partner forever and forever. So in these lines, the poet symbolizes, let me tell you what is important about these lines, what is the significance of these lines. In these, the silent, the crooked, the crouching and the creeping movement of the tiger have been explained as noiseless and fatal. It is so noiseless and fatal as death, because when death comes, it comes without making any noise, else the killed will be alarmed. And when it comes, it is able to carry away the person from its life, the creature from its life forever and ever. So the majesticity, the aptness of expression is that the poet ascribes, put the three words together, and then you will be able to admire the craft of the poet, Aurobindo Ghosh. He puts the 3 words together: noiseless, fatal, death. Now what terms does he use for the deer? The deer is beautiful, wild. When it runs in the forest, it definitely would be able to defy the tiger, but not now, because the tiger has not come as a tiger, it has come as death. And this poor deer has been taken away into the realm of another coolness and shadow of death. Destroyed. And life, which was sprinting in the existence of the deer, is destroyed. The mild, harmless beauty by the strong, cruel beauty in nature. Full stop. It is now that the poet has been able to reconcile, to bring the two ideas together. He juxtaposes. Juxtapose माना मतलब एक के ऊपर एक दूसरी इमेज को लगाना. आप देखिए इसके अंदर दो इमेजेस हैं. एक तो है माइल्ड हार्मलेस ब्यूटी. किसके लिए यूज हुआ है ये? दिस हैज बीन यूज्ड फॉर द डियर. और किसने किया है ये काम? द स्ट्रॉन्ग क्रूअल ब्यूटी, द टाइगर. So these epithets are for the two epithets justify the title of the poem, the tiger and the deer. But in these lines, the poet has chosen to speak first about the deer and then about the tiger. Destroyed. Who is destroyed? The deer, by the strong, cruel beauty in nature. Full stop. This marks the end of the thought process that the poet is undergoing, is he projecting. The poet has until now spoken, described in details the majesticity of the tiger. And he ends the description of the tiger with the expression that destroyed is the mild harmless beauty. Mild harmless beauty is term used for the tiger, and strong cruel beauty also. Even the tiger is beautiful, but he is strong and cruel. Just remember these two lines and the two expressions, because this will give you the idea of what the poet actually is speaking about. And after the full stop, the poet uses the word but. So let me tell you, whenever the first word in an expression is but, it always marks a difference in tones. It marks a difference in narration. It marks a difference, a complete world apart difference between what was said prior and what will now be said. So let us prepare ourselves for Shri Aurobindo Ghosh to say something contradictory. And then he says, but a day may yet come when the tiger crouches and leaps no more in the dangerous heart of the forest. This heart of the forest was used in the first stanza also, when he was talking about the tiger moving in the green heart of the forest. Now instead of green, he uses the term dangerous heart of the forest. So the poet is expressing a kind of anticipation. वो एक उम्मीद लगा रहे हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि लेकिन एक दिन आ सकता है जब ये टाइगर क्राउच और लीप कर ही नहीं पाएगा in the dangerous heart of the forest. As the mammoth shakes no more the plains of Asia, he compares this situation of the tiger becoming extinct एक्सटिंक्ट वो प्रजातियां जो विलुप्त हो गई हैं। तो वो बोल रहे हैं लगभग लगता है कि ये टाइगर भी विलुप्त हो जाएगा। किस तरह से? जैसे मैमथ हो गया। तो उन्होंने यूज़ किए एक सिमिली। A comparison has been made between the tiger and the mammoth. Mammoth is the most primitive form of elephant. These were elephant like creatures that lived in the most ancient ages, the ice age. They used to have very big tusks and they resembled the present day elephant. So he says now these mammoths are just as they are not found in the plains of Asia, so also a time may come when tiger is also not found in the forests of Asia. Still then shall the beautiful wild deer drink from the coolness of great pools in the leaves' shadow. I want to draw your attention to the fact that a double meaning has been employed in the word still. Still means until now, and still means undisturbed. So the two meanings hold equally valid opposition in this expression. He says a time may come, just as he said that a day may come when the tiger doesn't live anymore, and then he says a day might come when still, until that time and without moving, the beautiful wild deer will drink from the coolness of great pools in the leaves' shadow. So there is a kind of optimism that has come in the poem against the pessimism with which the poet started. The poet started with the wild description of the wild tiger, and now he comes to describe the beautiful appearance of the deer that will live, and a day may come when the tiger will live no more in the forests. And I would request you to look closely at this image, the image of so many deers. And the poem ends with this: the mighty perish in their might. Mighty, powerful. Perish, die. Might, power. So the poet has used an expression which is like a prophecy. वो एक भविष्यवाणी जैसी ही कर रहे. Without the verb in the present indefinite tense, मर जाते हैं. Perish is present indefinite of die. So he says शक्तिशाली लोग तो अपनी शक्ति में मर जाते हैं. And slain is killed. The ones who are killed, they survive. Survive means live. The slayer means killer. So शक्तिशाली लोग तो अपनी शक्ति में मर जाते हैं, और जो मरे हुए होते हैं वो फिर भी जी जाते हैं अपने हर्ता के समक्ष, जो उनको मार डालना चाह रहा है उसके बावजूद. और हमने देखा, we all see that the tiger came with majesticity and made so many of actions, such cautious actions as crouching and slouching and holding himself noiseless and attacking the deer. This did happen, and a deer was also killed. But where was it killed? It was killed in nature. प्रकृति में एक डियर मर गया। लेकिन प्रकृति उदार है, जो कमज़ोर हैं उनको प्रकृति बहुत संख्या में पैदा करती रहेगी, और एक दिन आएगा जब मारने वाला मर जाएगा। The poem is simple. Let me conclude the poem. It is a simple poem in which a small incident of a tiger attacking and killing a deer in just one blow has been explained. The tiger got killed, but now we are scared. The whole world is facing the threat of the tiger becoming extinct. The tiger is really going extinct. लगभग विलुप्त प्राय हो रहा है। क्यों? क्योंकि वो मारने वाला है, ऐसा एक साधु कवि सोच रहे हैं। So all the politics that goes on in the jungle, in the forest, in the heart of the nature, all the politics that the mighty kill the beautiful. In the face of all this politics, yet another kind of politics survives, the politics of nature. And what is the politics of nature? The politics of nature is, even when a powerful creature, a beautiful creature who is powerful, when he will try to kill, nature will avenge itself on him and will kill the killer. So this is the politics of nature. This is what a mystic poet, a sadhu poet will tell you. His task is to inspire faith among the innocent. And he has been very successful in inspiring this faith among his audience through this beautiful poem, Tiger and the Deer. The title speaks to sing the glory of the tiger, but it ends in the glory of the deer. So, the tiger will crouch and slouch and kill, but the deer will prevail. The killers will kill, but the innocent will live forever. I hope you will try to read this poem with the aspects of a narrative, a story, an incident that does take place somewhere in all jungles. But the ultimate reality, the ultimate truth is that nature allows more for the multiplication of the innocent. And this, of course, is the mission of Shri Aurobindo Ghosh through this poem, to tell you the final reality that the innocent will outlive the cruel people, the cruel species. That is all for today. Thank you.